Hey cruisers, are you getting ready to head out on your first Royal Caribbean cruise? Well, this video is for you, and it's going to save you time, money, and a few rookie mistakes. Now, these are some things that you wish you knew before you set sail. All right, so let's get started with this video. And today I do have my notes with me. So if you do see me scanning down, I am looking at my notes so that way I do not forget my bullet points, because there is a lot to kind of take in and try to remember to tell you guys. So first things first, download the Royal Caribbean app. Yes, everyone has an app, but the app is where you're going to do most of the stuff. In the app, this is where you have your cruise planner. You can basically see the ship layout. You can book shows. You can buy dining packages, drink packages. You can see your daily schedule on the app, as well as you can even track your onboard spending. Another bonus is with the Royal Caribbean app, you do not need to pay for the Wi-Fi. So once you get on the ship, you're automatically going to be on ship Wi-Fi, and you can basically use the chat feature if you needed to communicate with any other members of your family or your party. Now, if you're needing to keep up with social media and WhatsApp and all that, then that's something separate. Then you need to actually purchase actual Wi-Fi from the ship. Number two to keep in mind, check-in is about 45 days prior to your cruise. It is something that does matter, okay? Because the earlier you check in, the earlier you can board the ship. Now, check-in usually occurs for us here in the United States. It's going to be about midnight. So I usually stay up till midnight. Literally, I put an alarm on my phone, stay up till midnight, and I try to get the earliest boarding time. And that is usually about 10, if not 10:30. So, and the reason that is because then the earlier I get the boarding time is the earlier I can get on the ship and I can start enjoying all the features that there is to do on the ship. So make sure you are checking in, if that is a priority for you, to get an early boarding time. Number three, to note, not everything costs extra, but some things totally do. Here's the deal though. A lot of the things are included. You know, your basic meals are included, basic juices and things like that that they serve to you at the dining room and at the buffet. Your shows, the pool, the activities on board, certain activities are included in your cruise fare. But some extras can sneak up on you. If you want soda and you do not have a soda package, you will be paying for it. Specialty coffee. You can have basic brewed coffee in the dining room and in the buffet. But if you want to get fancy with your lattes and your cappuccinos, you will be paying for that if you do not have a drink package. Obviously you're going to be paying for excursions. That is not included in your cruise fare, and Wi-Fi is not included, as well as specialty dining. You do have sometimes, some of the ships do have like different ice cream parlors, which is separate from sprinkles, where there will be an upcharge for that. So keep that in mind. Some things are included and some things are extra. If you do plan on purchasing any type of package, whether it be Wi-Fi, dining, drink, or your excursions, please, I beg you, make sure you purchase it prior to your cruise. When there is a sale or anything prior to your cruise, just do not purchase it on the cruise once you get on board, because you will be paying sucker price. So purchase anything you can pre-cruise, pre-getting on board, because it will always be at a lower rate than what you're going to get on board. Okay? Especially when it comes to the drink packages. That's where they really get you. Dining can be confusing. Let me explain. Royal Caribbean has two types of dining. They have your traditional dining and they have my time dining. Now with the traditional dining, it occurs in the main dining room. So at the time that you are booking your trip, whether you're doing it online independently or if you have your trusted travel advisor assisting you with your booking, that you will select between either a 5 o'clock, 7:30, or 8 o'clock. The times vary based on the cruise ship. And then you also have my time dining, which basically means that you will show up at the dining room and they would basically, you would let them know how many is involved in your party, and they will basically sit you when they have a table available. So you're showing up whenever you feel like having dining. You do also have specialty dining as an option as well, but this is an upcharge. So specialty dining is not included in your cruise fare, and it is something that you would need to, in my suggestion would be to purchase prior to your cruise, so that way you can get a better deal. But for you as a new cruiser, the dining room is something that you might want to give a try. Let them know your dietary needs and any requests you may have, and they will be able to accommodate you. Now, first day equals key day. And one thing to know about the first day is that it basically sets the tone for your cruise. This is the time where you are wanting to, hopefully you got an early boarding time and you can explore the ship. If not, it's not a lost cause, but you're gonna get a chance to explore the ship, grab lunch early, and also make sure that you have your carry-on bag. Now, with your carry-on, please make sure you have your essential items. We've talked about this before in my previous videos, but your travel documents, any valuables that you don't want, to be in your regular luggage that's down with the luggage handlers. You want to make sure you have your valuables with you, electronics, chargers, any medications that are quite important that you need to have that in your carry-on bag. Swimwear, a change of clothes just in case your luggage does get delayed. And also, if you're traveling with the little ones, make sure you have things to keep them entertained, extra diapers, change of clothes, foods, and all that stuff. Now, if you are planning on going to the pool, that's why you would want to have your swimwear, so that way you can be able to change, because the pools are open on boarding day. And also, if you do plan on doing anything on the sports decks, then make sure, if you are not already wearing proper tennis shoes, you want to make sure that you have that as well in your carry-on bag, so that way you can partake in any sports activities on your boarding day. And while you are exploring the ship, book entertainment early or miss out. Now, you won't necessarily really miss out, but there is a chance that there are certain shows that are on board Royal Caribbean that does sell out. So, for example, Royal Caribbean is known to have epic shows. Like, you have the ice skating show, you have the aqua theater show. If you have not seen one, you need to see one. It is unbelievable. And then you also have the Broadway shows. So now the catch is, a lot of these shows do require reservations. So in the app, you will see a lot of the shows and things like that will show up on the app, depending on how far out your cruise is. So when you see them, go ahead and book the shows. You can always cancel and rebook, but go ahead and lock in a time or so that you want to see the show. The good thing is that there are certain shows, depending on the length of your cruise, where they will show it multiple days, maybe twice or 3 times on the cruise. It all depends. Or they'll even show it multiple times throughout the night to give people a chance. So they'll have an early seating and a late seating, which is also good. But if you do, for whatever reason, like say, for example, you have the Aqua Theater show, that's very popular. You want to go ahead and book it. But if you did not get a chance to book your Aqua Theater show, you can always come by and stand in the standby line. The standby line is long, but you will still get to see the show. No, will you get good seats? Probably not. But you will have areas where you can stand and you can watch the show. And the show is about 45 minutes to an hour long. So that's not bad. Shows that are taking place in the Royal Theater is so huge. So even if you were not able to get the perfect seat by, having your reservations in advance, if you do come in late or in the standby lane, you can probably, find a seat in the back or, stand in the back basically to watch the show. The other shows that you want to be mindful of, though, that does sell out, and they literally close the doors and you can't get in would be the adult comedy show. Now that's one show, as soon as it goes on, by the time you blink a couple of days later, that is completely out. Now, and the reason being is because the venue where they hold the adult comedy show is is small, so it's limited to the amount of guests that they can have. So if that is something that you are very interested in doing, please make sure that you book your show reservations, because they will sell out. Muster drill is way easier now. Gone are the days where you all had to go into your cabin, grab your life jackets, everyone meet outside, listen to the presentation, and then get checked off to do your muster drill. Minus Disney, because I believe Disney, everyone has to do the muster drill together. I could imagine how chaotic that can be based on videos I've seen. However, I digress. With Royal Caribbean, you can complete your muster drill on the app. There is a video that you can watch, and they will go through the whole procedure, where you need to meet, let you know where your muster station is, let you listen to the sound of the alarm. They even have information on there if you're traveling with your little ones as well, on what the safety procedures are. And as soon as you board the ship, just go ahead, find your e-muster drill, your e-muster station, and then there will be a crew member there that will ask you if you had any questions. They will demonstrate how to put on the life jacket if you have any questions for them, and then they will go ahead and scan you in, and then that is it. The muster drill is complete. Please do not be that person that the captain has to call on the overhead and say, there are 200 people still left that has not completed the muster drill, and therefore we cannot leave the ship if you have not completed the muster drill. So go ahead, complete it. It's simple. Do it on the ride over in your Uber or in the taxi or whatever it is, or do it while you're waiting to get boarded on the ship. It's that easy. Get it done. Gratuities are automatically added. So Royal Caribbean adds gratuities, and the prices vary depending on what type of cabin you're staying in. And the gratuity is per person. So gratuities can range from anywhere from $16 at the low end to $20 or so if you're staying in a suite. Now, you can prepay your gratuities at the time that you are booking. And one thing that you might want to know with that is that every so often, Royal Caribbean will raise the prices of the gratuities. But the thing is that if you've already prepaid your gratuities, you're already locked into the price that you paid. So it will not affect you as far as paying the new gratuity price. And what's nice is that they also do send you email notification letting you know gratuities are going to go up. So if you want to hurry up and prepay your gratuities, you can go ahead and do so, or you will be affected by the new gratuity price. Now, looking at my notes here is that you can adjust them at guest services if for whatever reason you are not happy of services or anything like that. I have heard of stories where people go down to guest services to adjust the gratuities or take them off. That is a separate conversation. However, just know that the gratuities does go to the crew members, and it goes also not only the crew members that you do see, but also the people that are behind the scene that you don't see. You know, don't forget you have your stateroom attendants, you have the cooks, you have the waiters, you have the maintenance crew, you have all these people, you know, that are working and behind the scenes that, you know, rely on the gratuities that we are paying for a service that we are getting. So be mindful of that before you go into removing gratuities. And let me know down in the comments, what's your take on gratuities? Do you provide more gratuities for outstanding service? Are you one of the ones who have had to adjust your gratuities because of issues you've had before on one of your cruises? Let us know down in the comment. It would be interesting to hear your take on it. Shore excursions. Book early and be smart. Now, shore excursions, especially the popular ones, will sell out fast. For example, swimming with the pigs, or sometimes those beach getaways, depending on where you're going. Those things sell out fast. As I mentioned before, is you want to pre-purchase these items if it is something that you even have an idea that you might be interested in, go ahead and pre-purchase it. If for whatever reason you decide, a couple of months later on, prior to your cruise, you don't want to do it anymore, you can always cancel and you will get a refund for your excursion. One thing to know about excursions, besides the fact that some of them can sell out, you want to make sure that whatever excursions that you do decide to take, when you are off the ship, be mindful of the ship time. So that is one thing that new cruisers need to realize, is that you have ship time and then you have island time. But you want to make sure that you are always on ship time. Even when you are getting off the ship, there will be signs posted, there will be screens posted that says all aboard time is whatever. There will even be different clocks, the ship clock, whatever the country you're visiting, their clock, and then another clock. But make sure that you are on ship time. If your excursion is running late Mexico time and you don't think you're going to make it back ship time, US ship time, you're going to be, unfortunately, one of those pier runners or just get left behind. So be mindful of that. Take a screenshot. Make sure your watch or something is set to the ship time, so that way you are not left behind, because it happens. It does. Perfect day at Coco Cay. Know what's included and what's not. Now, you're going to have things like the lounge chairs, umbrellas, that are included when you're on the island. There is also a huge buffet area that serves lunch till a certain time period. You also have the different snack shacks that are located in the different subsections of the island that is also complimentary to you. Now, what you need to know as a first timer to visiting the island is what is not included on the island, and which is an upcharge. So it's going to be things like your day bed, your cabanas, obviously, excursions like renting the kayaks or renting the floaties. Now, these are all things that you can pre-purchase in the cruise planner as well. Things like the zip line, the water park, the Thrill Water Park is amazing if you do get a chance to try it, but that is also an upcharge as well. The up and away balloon that you can go on there, I believe it's like a 15-20 minute ride, you're going to pay for that as well. Also, there is Captain Jack's, where it is an upcharge for some of the wings and the fries, or that restaurant in general. So there will be a fee for that. And one thing to note is that with Royal Caribbean, if you do purchase a drink package on board the ship, it does transfer over to their island, which is great because not all companies do that. So you can have your soda package or your alcoholic package, and you can use it on Royal Caribbean's island as well. All right, guys, so here are some quick fire bonus tips that I want to leave with you. Bring magnetic hooks. The walls in the ship are made out of metal. So if you do need some extra hanging space, like to put your hats or a bag or a bathing suit, you can purchase magnetic hooks off of Amazon, and that way you can go ahead and you put them on your cabin wall, and there you go, you have extra space to hang things up in your cabin. You can purchase a lanyard, which can make it easier for you to carry your SeaPass card, or depending on what cruise ship you're on, you can also purchase what is called a WOW band. Now, the WOW band works just like your SeaPass card, except it's a bracelet that you would wear on your wrist. Think about like a magic band if you've ever been to Disney. Now, with your WOW band, it will basically work as your SeaPass card. You can open your cabin door, you can purchase things with it on board the ship, at the shops, at the bars. Also, the only thing with the WOW band is that when you are getting off the ship at a port, you need your actual SeaPass card, for your picture and all of that stuff. But the WOW band is nice because it can be reactivated for any other cruise ships that you go on that does have the WOW band capability, and it's also waterproof, and you don't have to worry about carrying a lanyard. But if you do want to carry a lanyard, you do you. But just know that they do have WOW bands as an option for you to use as well. And you would get that on boarding day at guest services. And there is a $10 fee. As of the last time I purchased it in March of 2025, there was a $10 fee for the WOW bands. Last but not least, the most important tip for a first-time cruiser is make sure you bring motion sickness medication. You do not know, if this is your first cruise, you do not know how your body is going to react. So there are various different options of motion sickness medication you can take. You can either take non-drowsy Dramamine. Please make sure you take the non-drowsy one so you're not sleeping all day. You can take Bonine as well. There also have the patches that go behind the ear that you can use. They also have the bracelets that you can wear that works as pressure points as well. And there's also, you can take ginger tablets, apples. It has to be the green apples though. That also helps to combat motion sickness or anything like that. Obviously, all of these things you might want to check with your healthcare provider in case you have any underlying issues. But, you know, as far as the natural remedies, as far as the apples or the motion sickness bands, you want to give that a try because you just don't know how you are going to feel as a new cruiser out on the open ocean, how the motion of the cruise ship is going to do to you. However, the way they're building these ships right now with the stabilizers, you really barely feel it, to be honest with you. But a tip for you is when you are booking your cabin, make sure you want to book your cabin midship, center, and as low as possible. Because the higher up you go, or if you go towards the front of the ship or to the back of the ship, is where you're going to feel the most motion. So keep that in mind when you are booking your cruise, whether you're doing it independently or with your travel advisor. Have them book you a room that is midship and in a lower deck to avoid that situation. So there you have it, guys. Just a couple of things to keep in mind for you first-time Royal Caribbean cruisers, so that way you can have a nice, smooth sailing. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below and then we'll see if we can get them answered for you. I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to share, and stay tuned for more cruise tips, reviews, and vlogs coming your way. And as always, guys, stay well and stay savvy, and I'll see you in the next one.